President Macron has again appealed for calm, especially in those cities where clashes have been taking place, including Lille in the north and then Lyon and Toulouse in the south. And the biggest trouble has been in the capital, Paris, and in the suburb of Nanterre. That's where the teenager, named as Nahel, was killed. There was more violence earlier today during a march led by Nahel's mother. The prospect of further rioting has led to the closure of the city's bus and tram services. Our Paris correspondent Lucy Williamson has the latest.
In Nanterre today, thousands gathered to mark the void left by one local teenager and the rage that flowed in to fill it. The violence here last night still mapped onto the surrounding streets in ash and debris. Nahel's mother leading a chant of police assassins. Evan came from a suburb on the other side of Paris, but the problems there were just the same, he said.
We don't have jobs. We don't get hired if we don't lie on our CV. There's nothing for us. We feel abandoned. And on top of that, we get attacked by the people who are supposed to protect us. This is one offence too many.
The march ended this afternoon in a different kind of protest. Burning cars, tear gas, clashes with police. One local resident told us her own teenage son had been mistreated by police and that the violence following Nahel's death was justified.
I wouldn't be surprised if the trouble continues as long as there are no consequences for this police officer. I'm not in the heads of the young people, but what's happening here is justified. The police are the delinquents here, not our youth. Parents are doing everything they can.
The officer is now in custody and facing a charge of voluntary homicide. France's Interior Minister said it was time for the violence to stop.
Last night's riots and burning a school, a town hall, a social centre, that has nothing to do with what happened in Nanterre. Those responsible for the troubles should now go home.
But no one we spoke to in Nanterre thought the anger here had run its course.
What's fueling these fires isn't just rubbish bins and vehicles, but decades of frustration with the French state. Nahel's death triggers wider feelings of grievance, betrayal and inequality. And smouldering cars get the attention of France's leaders in a way smouldering resentments rarely do.
Thousands of extra police were deployed across the Paris region last night. Tonight, those numbers are being multiplied again. Symbols of the state, providing extra security and extra targets.
Well, let's go live to Paris tonight and join Lucy, who's there at the Arc de Triomphe. Lucy, can I just pick up on the comment you made there in the report where you said basically that what's going on here is not just to do with, obviously, police conduct, but it is to do with a much bigger sense of dissatisfaction with life in France?
Yes, I mean, there is anger at President Macron and his government. There's anger at politics in general, but there's also a deeper disappointment with the French state and the broken promises that people feel it makes to them. And the government is worried that that deeper disappointment might fuel a pattern of nightly riots. And so it's trying to curb the unrest really in two different ways. And it's walking something of a tightrope between them. On the one hand, it wants to show that it understands the anger people feel towards the policed actions that led to Nahel's death. On the other, it's taking an increasingly tough policing approach to violence on the streets. And the atmosphere in Nanterre today was pretty tense at times, and I think there are many people here in Paris tonight who are watching very carefully what tonight will bring.